So you get there and you wonder, you're like, man, am I too expensive? Am I cheap? How do I know what to charge? I don't want to step on their toes. I don't want to, offend the client or a potential client. And you got to ask yourself, how do I know if I'm doing it right or not on the pricing? Some people are like, it's this price, that price. Stay tuned. Hit that subscribe button, like, comment. Alright, so how's it going, everybody? Hope everyone's doing well. And doing a little driving here. I gotta go up the road and take care of a little small work. But I wanted to share a video. I wanted to take the time and put this out there, and maybe I can help someone. Maybe someone can help me. Leave in the comments if you've experienced this, and I feel like we all have. But just leave in the comments if you feel like you can add to and give more value to not just me, but other people in the community. Because it's all about giving back, and I'll do my best. So here it is. Without further ado, how do you know you're charging, the right price? How do you know you're not overcharging? That kind of thing. You're not going to charge, for 1,000 square feet, $300. Like, that's crazy. But let's say you get to a yard and the yard's got, let's say a trampoline, a pool, like an above ground pool, and there's toys everywhere. And you tell yourself, I'm going to do that for $20. Well, let's say you go over there and you tell, I don't know why, I got to stop using Miss Jones. I've done more Miss Jones out, poor Miss Jones. Let's use, I can't use Miss Smith, I don't want her name out too. Let's use Miss, I don't know, Miss Charter, whatever. Miss whoever. I can't think of a name for some reason. Miss Calabrese. And you tell her, Miss Calabrese, it's going to be $20. Alright, cool. She's like, oh, sweet. You start cutting the yard, and you find that, man, these toys are in the way, and, I got to pick them all up, and every time you go there, let's say you're a month in, you're cutting weekly, and she's like, you do a great job, and you feel like you do a great job, right? And, look at the camera over here. So, I forgot my little tripod thing, my stand. Oh, no, I didn't. There it is. Alright, so here we are, much easier. So, you tell Miss Calabrese or whatever, hey, I gave you the wrong price. And you said, and she's thinking in her mind, what do you mean you gave me the wrong price? And you start second guessing yourself. Before that, you're like, did I charge enough? Because this is taking you longer than you expected. So you're having to bite the bullet, swallow your pride, and you're not making any money really on Miss Jones, Miss Smith, Miss Calabrese, yard, whoever. And it's a hard thing to come to the client and say that, but you got to do it, right? Because you're not making any money. You're paying your helper, or you got to pay yourself, your fuel and all that stuff. And I'm not going to get into that, but it is important. You got to think about that kind of stuff. If you have a legit business, you're going to have to pay for more things, because what about when these things break back there? If you can see that mower, what are you going to do when it's something that you don't know how to do? And even if you do know how to do it and fix it, the part's still going to cost you money. So you see where I'm going with this. How do you know that you're charging? Well, you got to sit down and do a lot of math. You have to do something, well, they call it know your numbers. You have to know what it costs your truck to drive a mile. You have to know what it costs, with your tires factored in, with your oil, with so many components. Instead of just what they call, shooting from the hip. You just, hey, it's going to be this much. Unless you've done this for many years. And you get to that point later. But my point is this. What's the how? How do you know? Well, for me, it's a math equation, and I don't know the equation. I'll be honest, I did have to get some help with it. Some financial gurus and or experts, I guess you would say. That's their line of work. We had to lay everything out on the paper, everything on the dry erase board, whatever. And you got to see, okay, if I'm going to be providing this service, and it's going to be taking me this long, what does my business need to be profitable? So let's say you had to go up like $10 on Miss Jones, or I'm just gonna say Miss Jones. I feel bad for Miss Jones. Anyway, just hear me out. So you had to go up 20. Let's just be realistic. If if it costs you $20 more and you're charging 20, the backside of that equation is this. How do you think Miss Jones is gonna feel? How do you think how would you feel? You're like, man, you doubled my rate. And the thing is this, I used to be that guy who I used to think people were ripping me off. Here's the truth. They wasn't ripping me off, but I felt like they was ripping. So there was an emotional response, right? All because I sat there and thought, just because I thought, I'm like, who's charging that? You know why? Because I was so used to little handyman, and I'm speaking about like my house when I get quotes on my house, because I know how to fix some things, and I've tried to do other things, and just being brutally frank with you, I'm not that great at that kind of work. I could be, I think, if I pursued that as a career, as many could be, but it's just not their bread and butter. But, long story short, that is not my forte. That is not what I'm into. So when I got these quotes from these people, it was like sticker shock, or, like white coat syndrome, I guess, kind of thing from a doctor. When you go to a doctor, you get it, higher blood pressure or whatever. Anyway, heart rate. But when they shoot me this prices, like on my air conditioning and heating, to get it, a new one, man, I about lost it, I'm thinking to myself, what the hell's wrong with these people? They're crazy. Actually, they're not crazy, and I can tell you why. Because their labor, their time, their materials, and if they got multiple people on the job, it's the workman's comp. So there's a lot of overhead, right? Yeah, you might find a guy to do it for, a fraction of the cost, but you got to ask yourself, is the quality there? So that's a bigger component, you got to, and I'm kind of getting, moving on to some other things about, what is someone worth, and, why you can and you can't charge that. But back to the, the pricing, you need to figure out how much it costs to run your truck. So you got to figure out your insurance on a monthly basis, and you got to factor that down to an hourly if you're working 8 hours a day. Then you got to factor, okay, the tires on my truck, how long are my tires? Are they 40,000 mile tires? Are they 60,000 mile tires? You got to factor in a little extra. What if I run over something on, headed to a job? So what you do is you take all these clients, and you got to have a, a round number kind of. I can't stand this fly in the truck. It's irritating. It's my ADD kicking in. Oh, I can't stand it. But anyway, you got to take all that into consideration. You got to take your mowers. You got to take, let's say you have skid steers. You got to take everything into consideration, and you got to break that down on like a depreciation rate. And once you do that, you divide it by how many work hours you're going to be, performing, and you'll come up with an hourly number, like a week hourly, how many hours you're putting a week, and that will give you a base charge on what you need to do. So you take the price of your tires, your truck, your insurance on your truck, the insurance on your business, the insurance, when I say business, like just business, the name and all that. Then you got to do it on your mowers, and so there's a lot of different things, right? And then you got to factor in, what are you charging for labor? So let's just be honest. It's hot out there. No one wants to work for no less than $12 an hour. Nobody. If McDonald's, and here's what I always tell people, if McDonald's is paying, and no disrespect to McDonald's, I like McDonald's. I shouldn't eat there, but I do. But anyway, that's another subject. So if McDonald's is charging more than $1 now, which they do, they went up on their prices. What does that speak for people like us in the service industry that's running equipment, that's running, your truck? It's you going back and forth. You're going to the client. You need to figure out what is profitable for you. Again, you don't want to be over the top. I can't tell you what numbers. Why? Because I don't know how much your equipment is. I don't know, is your truck paid off? Is your mower paid off? Is your trimmers paid? I don't know. So everyone's number is going to be different. So sometimes you'll get these quotes from some of these guys, like for example on Miss Smith's house, and he said, man, I was doing it for $20. Well, Miss Smith feels like she's getting a dang good deal, right? Let's just be real, a damn good deal. All right. He has to go up 10, 20, whatever it takes for you to cover your guy, you, all your insurance. Miss Smith ain't gonna be too happy, but here's one thing you gotta do. Now, here's kind of like part 2 of the video. If you tell these clients you're gonna have to go up on their price, 9 times out of 10 they always say this: 9 times out, not always, but 9 times out of 10, some of them say okay. But from what I've experienced and what I've heard other friends and stuff in the business, they say how much. Oh, that's the golden egg. That's the goose egg. That's, $1 million question. How much? And you got to pick that number. Like, I've had to go up $5 on some people. I've had to go up $20 on some people. Why? To cover your equipment. Here's the thing. It's a business. Some people, this ain't a popcorn, pizza kind of, bubble gum on the weekend kind of thing for some people. This is how people make a living. This is how the guy down the street puts his daughter in ballet, how he puts his son in karate, whatever. Puts the daughter in karate, whatever, golf, wrestling, you name it. And this is how, value yourself. This is how me and my family are going to go on vacation. I'd love to take my family out to dinner, and the reasons are, you got to value yourself. And if you're making money on the $20 an hour thing, hey man, more power to you. Keep knocking it out the park with Miss Jones. But I can tell you from experience, if you're having a legit business, $20 ain't gonna cut it. The price of fuel is so high. It's like $2.87 right now, $2.90, and it's coming down slowly. But long story short, you gotta be profitable. You got to be profitable. So some people, part 3, they feel like you're ripping them off. You have to explain to them. I kind of hit on this. You have to say, hey, Miss Smith, Miss Jones, Miss Cutter, Miss whatever, Miss Clark. I'm sorry, but explain to them. Be patient with them. Don't degrade them. Don't be like, well, you got to pay to play. With all this pride and this arrogance and this I'm better than that. You don't do that. Especially if you're running a business. That's how you'll run your business on the ground. They won't have to. You will. So you kind of shoot yourself in the heart on that deal. It's a slow and dying death. You will. Because if there's one thing people are good at, is talking. They will get the word out quick. But anyway, so you've got to explain to them why you're charging what you're charging. And you know what? This is where the rubber meets the road. Sometimes they drop you. That's the nature of the business. When I first got dropped by somebody, they're like, no, we don't need you no more. If you're gonna, it's not insulting. But it's kind of like, ugh, like that kind of hurt, because you want to keep them as a client. You want to provide a good service. You want to do, if you're doing good work, you take pride in your work, If you're not doing good work, then it's like, whatever, But at the same time, you got to learn when to walk away. So, and that's the crappy part about the business. And it's not like that in just the lawn business, the landscaping. It's like that in everything. I mean, it's like that in the painting, carpentry, construction. Finance, somebody says, I found a guy to do my taxes. He does it for $400 cheaper. And the guy's probably like, man, how's he doing that? It takes me, 3 weeks to do your taxes. Like you have a lot of stuff. And so you start picking in your head. So like for me, how does someone do the job for $20? I can't, and I'll be honest with you, I can't compete with the $25, $35 guy. I can't. Why? I have logos, I have, professional looking equipment, I have professional equipment, not just looking. And it kind of beats you up. It kind of stings a little because, you're like, what other people don't know. And that's why you got to share with them sometimes, because you want to see everyone wants to do good, right? But you got to be competitive. So if you take 3 guys and line them up and they all provide the same service, lawn service, and you say, well, they're all $30, $35 and one's at $40. So who do you pick? Do you pick the cheapest guy? Now, this is the psychology. Probably part 4 or 5. But some people, you know what they do? They run straight to the dollar menu. Did you get it? You get it? The McDonald's? They run straight to McDonald's. They don't run to TGI Fridays, or they don't run to the local burger joint in town and spend $10 on a burger. No, they go get the $1.50, $2 burger. And you start asking yourself, and hey, no offense to McDonald's or anyone, don't take offense to this. I'm just giving analogies. So you look at the McDonald's line and it's always full. It's weird. You look at the Burger King line, there might be a car, there might be 2 cars, maybe, and that's on a busy day, or soccer games in town, whatever, a big event. So you got to ask yourself, what do they really value? Is it the taste? Is it the price? It's a little bit of both. They get a good deal. They feel like they're getting good value. But what does it do to your body? Let's be real. It's not that healthy. Even the premium side of things that are $6 and $7, It's got so much sodium in it, it'll cover you for a whole day and then some. But anyway, this ain't a health thing. I'm just saying that people value different things, and you gotta know where you fit in. You gotta value yourself. Do a good job, charge accordingly, and you know what? Some people think you're ripping them off, even after you explain to them and they still feel that way. This is where you gotta have some thick skin in the game. You gotta let the water roll off your back. So that's it in a nutshell. I mean, I can go on and give you, more analogies, but it's kind of like kicking a horse, kicking a dead horse. And I think, y'all will probably understand this and get it for the most part. I wish I could help you more on the finance side. I had to get help, and I'm pretty decent at math. I'm pretty good. But and the reason why it's hard is because you got to know how many clients you got, or you got to have a projection of clients. And you can't be like real far off, because then your price is going to, But also, the last part I'm going to say is this. Oh man, I'm big into your worth. You got to know your worth, because if everyone's doing a crap job, guess what? You can be the purple cow. You can go stand out. You can go do these services that other people aren't offering. But pump the brakes. Make sure it's profitable. You can't be doing all this work and it's not profitable. Why? Because when it comes time to pay your light bill, when it comes time to pay your insurance, and you're looking in the bank account and you're like, where's all the money? I'm doing all this work. People are calling left and right. The phone's ringing off the hook. I can't keep up. I got 5 calls I haven't even returned yet. I'm on this job, and just blah, 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 and just on and on and on, right? But you feel like you're doing well. That's why it's good to get a bottom line, to know what you're making, to know what to charge. That way you are profitable. That way you can take your mower to the shop. That way you can take your family out to dinner. Or that way you can go get your wife or your girlfriend or your fiance something nice. You can show them that you care. You can say, baby, I was thinking about you, yada, yada, yada. Anyway, enough of that. But you get the point. Y'all get the point. Spend time with your kids doing good in school. Provide him, provide for them, show them that you love them. And I could go on and on. So that's pretty much it. And the clients, some of my clients might see this video and, hey, that's great. You want to be super transparent with people? Get the sun out. At least that's how I feel. And I'm not just trying to think of this make it about me. I'm trying to just let everyone know. I think transparency is very important. I also think communication, your delivery, is also just as equally important. The last thing you want to do is come across as arrogant and prideful, and you're better than people. I'm trying to not keep the camera too far, but yeah. So, if you got something out of this, hey, leave me a comment. Tell me what y'all think. Tell me. I'm in Abilene, Kansas, Junction City, Kansas, and yeah. How do y'all handle that? What is y'all's go-to? We're about to go into 2022. Woo woo. Yep, I'm pretty happy. I'm looking forward to it. My truck's gonna be wrapped with new logos, and I got a new trailer, got a new mower. So I'm looking forward to the season. Kind of going through a little bit of a drought, but I believe we're gonna get some rain, just like we always do. In the spring rush. And yeah, y'all let me know where y'all from, and like I say, just leave me a comment, subscribe, and give me a big thumbs up if you don't mind. So I got a lot of videos coming out. I do. Just, you got to be patient with me. I'm a one-man band, and as y'all know, the labor's hard this year. It's hard to come out and help. So I hope everyone has a blessed Christmas. I hope everyone has a great New Year, and y'all will see me before long. All right, peace.